What is up, guys? Welcome to the 37th episode of the Trackside Girls podcast, Season 2. This isn't our final episode of the season because we still have a couple more F1 races on the season, but it is our season closer on NASCAR because NASCAR had their championship weekend in Phoenix this past weekend, crowned 3 champions in the desert, and we're going to go over them. Alrighty, let's get into the truck series. For the trucks in qualifying, Lawless Allen gets loose in turn 2 and backs into the wall. Heavy damage on the right rear and has to go to a backup truck, meaning he has to start at the rear of the field. It was Ty Majeski for pole on the outside with Corey Heim inside, with Christian Eckes starting right behind them. So the 3 of the 4 playoff drivers have very, very strong qualifying. The first caution for cause is on lap 42. Frankie Muniz does a half spin in turn 3 after contact with William Sawalich. Corey Heim barely avoids hitting him. On the restart, Ty Majeski on the outside, Christian Eckes on the inside. Lap 59, Jack Wood spins from 27th after going 3 wide with Bailey Curry and Matt Crafton entering turn 1. Suffers heavy rear end damage. On the restart, Ty Majeski leads from the outside, Corey Heim on the inside. Ty Majeski ends up winning stage 2. Oh, sorry. Hey, it was under caution. That's why I was confused. Corey Heim won stage 1 under caution with the Frankie Muniz spin. So they restart. Ty Majeski on the outside, Nick Sanchez on the inside. Connor Mozak hits the wall off turn 2, triggering a multi-truck accident, including Tyler Ankrum, Stephen Parson, Frankie Muniz, Thad Moffitt, William Sawalich, Andreas Perez de Lara, Spencer Boyd, and Stuart Friesen. Corey Heim was penalized for a restart violation because he switched lanes before the start-finish line, which is a big no. But they had to red flag it to clean up the damage from that multi-car or multi-truck accident. But the red flag lasted 6 minutes and 9 seconds. On the restart, it's Ty Majeski on the outside, Nick Sanchez on the inside. On lap 111, Connor Jones spins after contact with Jake Garcia. They restart again, Ty Majeski on the outside, Lane Riggs on the inside this time. Lane Riggs makes slight contact with Nick Sanchez and spins. So, right after on that restart, they had to go right into caution again. But they restart again. Ty Majeski still leading. Nick Sanchez on the inside. Ty Majeski extends his lead over Corey Heim while Christian Eckes moves to 3rd. And Ty Majeski ends up winning at Phoenix and winning the championship. I know I pull for Ford, but that is not who I was expecting to win the championship. Because the 2 dominant drivers of the season, neither of them won it. So.
A lot of people are actually mad about the truck race because of that. I could have went to my freaking concert that I was supposed to go to and not missed a damn thing. That race was boring. And it was a championship race, and it was boring.
So.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Unfortunately. Now, on to the Xfinity race, which, if you guys are watching the video feed, you can tell that 3 of us are matching hats. And with the way Lakota just turned, she showed the number that's on the side of this hat. It is the number 7 of Justin Allgaier. And we're about to tell you why we're all matching. Which, one, We got these hats at Martinsville um, after the race.
Also,
And they're also wearing Riley Herbst and Monster. Um, the perfect combination for this Phoenix race.
obviously.
But we're going to run through the events of this Xfinity race, which I feel like the Xfinity race was the most exciting out of the 3 championship races of the weekend. So, let's start. Sammy Smith to the rear for an engine change. So what happened in practice? Brennan Poole lost the transmission and had a whole bunch of oil pouring from his car, and Justin Allgaier, Eric Almirola, Brandon Jones, Shane Van Gisbergen, Parker Kligerman, Dawson Cram, all of them get damage from running through this oil. They either hit the wall, hit other cars, something. And so Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Eric Almirola, and Parker Kligerman all go to backup cars. Eric Almirola got out on the track in the backup car, roughly 28 minutes to go in practice. And Justin was able to get back out there with 13 minutes left in practice. The night before the race, Justin and Brandon were out helping his team rewrap his car, like in the dark. They had to use their like cell phone lights trying to.
It was all of the junior motorsports crews. It was all of the wives and girlfriends. It was literally everybody helping wrap Brandon's car so it could be ready. It was
So
everybody.
what they ended up doing with Justin's backup, they obviously had the main car that they worked on mostly in, but they put basically the same amount of effort into Justin's backup car, just in case something like this would happen. Because, like, just you have to plan for everything. And so Justin went to his backup car, obviously got back out there during practice, and so was able to get a little bit on. But it didn't matter with his qualifying effort because he just needed to get laps. He was going to the back anyway because he had a backup car. He was starting dead last. But it was William Sawalich to get his first career pole in the Xfinity Series. And if you have not heard, if you've been living under a rock, William Sawalich is going to the Xfinity Series full time next season with Joe Gibbs Racing. But let's get into this race. Sheldon Creed qualified on the front row. He's on the outside on the start. By lap 40, Justin Allgaier had came from dead last to 6th. And none of those were because people pitted. It was because he just drove through the field. But there was no caution in stage 1. Riley Herbst ended up winning stage 1.
That a boy.
Riley again leading the field to green with Austin Hill on the inside. Lap 62, Anthony Alfredo gets into the wall and makes contact with Stephen Parsons. Greg Van Alst spins from 37th behind them, bringing out the caution. Anthony Alfredo was penalized for reckless driving and held 2 laps, which the way that incident happened with Stephen Parsons was the way that it looked was Stephen kind of forced Anthony into the wall. And I don't know if Anthony did it on purpose or not, but it looks like he made an immediate left and went down the track and clipped Stephen Parsons, sending Stephen into the wall. So I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but that's how it looked. Um, but Riley Herbst still in the lead. Cole Custer on the inside. Chandler Smith spins from seventh after Sheldon Creed comes down on him. But it is Sheldon Creed in the lead on this restart with Jesse Love on the inside. Riley Herbst again wins stage two. And so he leads the field back to green with Eric Almirola on the inside and Connor Zilich in third. Anthony Alfredo on lap 155 gets hard into the wall, bringing out the caution, which is a big break for Justin Allgaier, who was on the lead lap by not pitting. Again, Riley is leading the field back to green with Jesse Love on the inside. And lap 198, Leland Honeyman spins, bringing out the caution, which sends this into overtime. They were 2 laps, right? I think maybe 2 laps away from this. And Justin was the highest running driver. He had just got ahead of Cole Custer. But the first overtime attempt, Austin Hill restarts on the outside with Jesse Love on the inside. I'm over here freaking out because I'm like, I swear to God, if Austin Hill wins the championship, I might lose my mind. Riley Herbst third, Cole Custer fourth, Eric Almirola fifth, and Justin Allgaier sixth. Jesse Love ends up getting the lead. Justin Allgaier goes from sixth to second before the caution comes out due to Parker Retzloff. So they have to restack the field and run it back. So attempt number 2. Jesse Love leading the field to green from the outside with Justin Allgaier inside. Eric Almirola third, Riley Herbst fourth, Austin Hill fifth, and Cole Custer sixth. Justin Allgaier takes the lead and holds it until about turn I would say the middle of turns 3 and 4. And then it's 3 wide with Justin, Riley, and Eric Almirola, right? I think that's who the third person was. Justin kind of runs into Riley, trying to slow him down, stays ahead of him, and then when they're coming out of turn 4, Riley goes like flying past him. But Justin is still the highest running championship driver. So, the way it worked out, Riley Herbst got the final win for Stewart-Haas Racing, as well as Justin Allgaier to win his first championship in 14 years of trying.
I'm crying again because I'm unwell. Oh.
So we had the way the girls' picks were, they chose Justin for championship. Oh wait, did both of you guys do it like that, or did one of you pick Parker?
I don't think none of us picked Riley to win the race.
I thought you did.
I picked Parker to win the race.
Oh, then it was you that picked Parker. Who did?
No, I think Lakota picked you. Wasn't you? Didn't you pick Sam or Sammy or something like that?
I could have swore you guys first said Riley.
No. I think none of us said Riley.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not see Riley winning that race, but I tell you what, I don't know where the hell he came from, but he came out of nowhere. I think I picked Sammy. I 100%. I picked Sammy because he finished third there in the beginning of the season. I don't even know where Sammy finished. Nowhere.
Let me see.
Nowhere near the top 10.
So you're telling me. You're telling me.
Deep down, I so wanted to choose Riley, but I didn't. And it's a good thing I didn't because he would not have won that race. But in my heart, I'm like, Riley.
So you're telling me that the first time you guys don't pick Riley,
He wins.
He wins.
I mean, we
Um,
already knew
actually,
that Lakota's kind of
actually,
a jinx. So
actually, no. To be fair, I picked Riley the last 2 times when he has won because I picked him for Vegas and I picked him for Indianapolis and he won those races.
oh, and
So I have
then you
picked
picked
Riley
Harrison.
before. I have, yeah,
So
I have picked Riley before twice and he ended up winning those 2 races.
but
But I was not gonna try and jinx him this time.
but that
Oh,
that was a rough race. That like last stressed me out. Now now let's get into the cup race because I'm gonna recap the like first
can we
half
pass
of it.
that?
Can we not?
Can we
Can we
pass
not?
that?
Yeah, trust me, I don't want to be there because I literally had my reaction. My dad was listening to the scanner, who was 2 laps ahead than the TV, so he's over here screaming, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like they haven't even finished the race yet." Don't even get me started.
Um, I would like to say though, thank you CW for finally having freaking sound for the championship race because the last 3 races I've had to literally watch without sound and I've had to listen to the NASCAR app radio. So thank you for finally having sound so I could actually hear interviews going on. That's all I gotta say about that.
Okay. Jeb Burton to the rear for multiple inspection failures and will do a stop and go penalty when the race goes green. In practice, Jimmy Johnson spun on his 8th lap of practice, and qualifying Josh Berry spun in turn 2 and hit the wall. Joey Logano failed inspection twice, had his car chief ejected, and lost pit stall selection, which people were very mad that he still got to qualify and keep his qualifying spot and did not get sent to the back. But in the rule book, it's not required for him to go to the back if it's a failed inspection. So cry about it. That's my answer to that. Cry about it. But in his final full-time race, Martin Truex Jr. gets pole. I feel like that's a good way to end your season. I don't think he finished very high, or well, at least not like you didn't really hear much of him from the part that I watched because I watched the ending because I was at work. But Joey Logano ended up qualifying on the front row.
He ended up finishing 17th.
Oh, so yeah.
Because Harrison finished in front of him.
So
Well,
so our boy Ty Gibbs got a whole like 2 minutes of track time at Phoenix. Because on lap 2 he hits the wall and brought out the caution. What happened? Why did he hit the wall?
his brake pad broke.
Okay.
His brake broke, so he had to slam into the wall because he had no way to stop himself. That's why.
Oh, so
Like he
brake
first
rotor.
hit the wall, he like scrubbed the wall, and he came back down, and like his car just went straight into the wall after
Yeah,
that.
his brake rotor broke. That's why.
Good
Because
lord.
he did he scraped the wall a little bit, and then they thought it was fine, and then he slammed it in the wall, and then after they realized that his brake rotor broke as when he barely scraped the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why.
All right.
Uh,
Anyway, Martin Truex back to green with Joey on the outside. Joey ends up winning stage 1. And they are leading back to green. I don't know who was driving the pace car, but he turned in too late. The pace car hit the sand barrels at the end of pit road.
There's a first time for everything.
That makes both NASCAR and Formula One, where the pace car, safety car, whatever, has wrecked.
Everybody's saying whoever was driving that pace car needs to be fired.
I wonder. Go ahead.
RFK media persons are really funny because they took the I guess the in-car or whatever from the pace car, and they had the Drake and Josh clip of them like kind of wrecking.
Yeah, it's like, don't grab my steering wheel.
I had it turning. Oh, that was funny.
And then that audio, the I can't remember. It had to have been like, the animation style is kind of like Family Guy or something of that, and it's got the woman, and it's like, oh, I need to get off here, like jumping 8 lanes. Good luck, everybody else.
Chase Elliott actually made a video of it too.
Well, he was the one that was right behind the pace car.
Mm-hmm.
So
everybody's making a big deal about it because everybody's like, all the boys were confused. They were like, don't think you're supposed to do that, but that's fine.
Videos like this, that meme of that cat like driving. Yeah. That's what Chase's was.
But
I saw that today.
But yes, Chase Elliott is leading the field to green. Christopher Bell on the outside. Ryan Blaney ends up winning stage 2. Christopher Bell leading at this time. Ryan Blaney on the outside. On lap 250, Zane Smith wrecks from 28th, bringing out the caution. William Byron leads the field to green from the inside with Kyle Larson on the outside. At this point in time, Joey Logano ends up getting the lead. Ryan Blaney makes it up to second and closes the lead down to 1.190 seconds. He could have passed him. He could have moved him. He was literally on his bumper, could have moved him to win this race, to win the championship. But I think that last lap, he backed off because he knew he could not do it cleanly. Because Roger Penske is known for, it has to, if this is gonna happen, it's got to be clean. And Ryan was not, I feel like he was not confident enough to pass him both cleanly and not end up taking both of them out of contention. Meaning, Joey Logano became a 3-time champion. Meaning, it was 3 years in a row that Team Penske has won the championship, the NASCAR Cup Series championship. All right, Molly, let's hear it. I know you got some words.
I don't. What was that? I mean, they should have. Blaney had the better car.
I agree.
The entire day.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe Ryan had the better car.
Mm-hmm. I mean, also, if Blaney would have won the championship, I don't think he'd been able to celebrate. He looked like he was about to pass out after.
So they actually did have to send the AMR safety
Mm-hmm.
crew over to his car when he got out.
And also,
Before they did his interview, he was with the um like some of the health people. Can't remember what, I don't know what other word to use there. I can't think. Um, like emergency services people. I guess we'll go with that.
no, I just saw it on TikTok. I think I sent it to both of y'all. He was in the media center, and he said he felt like he was gonna pass out. So he could have passed out.
Like he was working for it, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I do think that Junior has said too, like they need to change championship race, like go to a different track.
I feel like the different track would be beneficial, but I think I agree with what Joey said about the format. Like without this format, the champion can have the race, like the championship, locked up 3 races before the end of the season. Like everybody complains about how they're doing all this stuff for just for entertainment, for like for TV, and I'm like, do you guys not realize racing is an entertainment sport? Like that's what I don't get. People are complaining that they do it for entertainment, but that's literally why racing is on TV. It is for entertainment. Sports that are aired on TV are for entertainment.
Also, Joey wouldn't be in this situation with the championship if Alex didn't get penalized. Charlotte.
So, true. I agree. But also that the people replacing Joey's interview with Alex's words, like the recording of Alex. Okay, I'm sorry. As much as I love Alex, what makes you think he would have won the Phoenix race? Think realistically, please. Like where did he even finish?
14th.
Okay, not bad. That's a solid top 15. That's solid, okay? But he would have had to beat the other 3 drivers.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, we all know Hendrick hates Alex so much because they've gave him crap cars the entire year. So the races that he has won this year, I'm surprised he's even won. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Like I just
Hendrick,
yeah,
Hendrick does not treat their drivers like does not treat them all equally. Willie B, Larson, and Chase, sure, they're the same because they got the faster cars. Alex never got a fast car. So the races that he won this year, I'm surprised he even won them this year.
it's just realistically, even if Alex made it to the final 4, or no, well actually that disqualification only got him into the final 8. Who even knows if he would have even made it to the final 4? So it's not like they took his spot away from the championship 4. So that they made that decision a month ago to keep him out of the top 8. So he most likely, well, he's a fairly consistent driver. So like I can't necessarily say that like it is impossible that he could make it in on points, but I just don't think it would have been very likely considering who he was going up against. So everybody's talking about like they called um they're starting to call Joey's win a Mickey Mouse. Uh and I'm like, I get it because people are mad because he got back in on a technicality and went out and won the championship. But that's how it goes. Like you take them where you can get them. Like he took advantage of a competitor being disqualified.
And that just also just brings us right back to the playoff format too.
Like I I personally I I'm not saying the playoff format is 100% foolproof, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's perfect. But I feel like it is the best format for the entertainment value that this sport is supposed to be. Everybody complains about, like I said, that everything's being done for TV. Yeah, where do you think they get their money from? Like racing on lower levels, you get paid barely nothing unless you're in like dirt late models. Like trying to make money racing is hard. So, obviously, yes, we know NASCAR is on crack. We know it's like they're not always fair. They're a little corrupt, okay? We know that. But you got to think of it. You got to get it in your head that this is an entertainment sport. Why do you think all the drivers are required to do interviews, required to be in media, required like that's what brings the viewership, the like and then that viewership is what brings in money. Because all the people watching are out there buying the merch, buying the race tickets. Like how else do you think NASCAR has lasted this long? Like it's from viewership and entertaining people. So, the playoff format, why, yes, it might be a little jacked, it is a better solution for the entertainment value. I feel like it is also with the final four. I I personally like that better because it means less for us to keep track of. Because you only have to keep track of those four drivers. You don't have to keep track of, let's say, the 16 people who originally get into the playoffs. Like, it narrows down, in most cases, the best of the best. The people who have either won races throughout the playoffs or have gained enough points to make it into the next round. Because you look at the Final Four this year. This year was stacked. You had two before the championship race. You had two-time champion Joe Logano. You had last year's reigning champion Ryan Blaney, and you would have had Christopher Bell, who was a strong driver as well, and then William Byron, who won the Daytona 500 this year. And then I forgot who the fourth one was. Who was the fourth one?
Tyler
Reddick.
And then again, but still, so Tyler Reddick, still a strong driver. He may not have had had a good race this past weekend at Phoenix, but he is still a very talented racing driver. So I think that like I said, it's not perfect, but it shows the most consistent drivers and the people who can win. Of course, before the postseason, you had Chase Briscoe, Harrison Burton, way down there in points. Like, the only way they got in is to win. Which I feel like that that's a fantastic I think that's good to be implemented because it gives the people who would never be able to make up that much points one shot. They have one shot to make it into higher up and possibly fight for a championship. And everybody complains because Chase Briscoe and Harrison Burton, like they're like, oh, they're taking up a playoff spot for better drivers. Okay, those better drivers should have won by now.
If they wanted someone else better to win, they should have had the better race car and they should have won. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's I don't know. That's like kind of people complain a lot about that.
I feel like people have complained more about NASCAR this year than any other year.
So, what's in the group chat? Tricon makes it official that Corey Heim will race again full time for them in 2025. It has been announced that Matt McCall will not return to RFK Racing in 2025. Austin Hill confirms he will be back at RCR in 2025, racing full-time in the Xfinity Series, and he said 2026 is an option year. Ty Majeski missed the Championship 4 production day on Tuesday, which, if you guys don't know what that day is, it's whenever they bring in all of the Championship 4 contenders, and they do all of their media and stuff for the championship race and championship weekend. You're required to go to that. And so it's basically like if you refuse to go, it's almost like an F1 if you refuse to do media or press conferences stuff, you get fined. Same thing in NASCAR. And Ty Majeski got fined $12,500. So $12K. And the reason he missed it was actually that Tuesday was like voting day or election day, whatever you want to call it, in America. And he obviously had this plan to go and vote in his hometown. He never requests an absentee ballot because he's not normally in the Championship 4. So he wasn't really expecting to have to be at this media day. So he had to go up there and do that. But he did appeal. I don't know if they have decided on that yet. But I feel like, considering, obviously, if you're a motorsports organization, I don't think you should get political. But also, that is Ty Majeski's right in this country to go and vote on that day. So I feel like they should give a little bit of leeway with that. And also, $12,000 is kind of a lot for the Truck Series. On the Dale Jr. download, they had the Xfinity Series Championship 4. Justin and Austin ran new chassis in the championship race. AJ Allmendinger ran his Las Vegas car that led 102 laps of 201. Cole Custer had his Bristol winning chassis at the championship race. Trackhouse lost the appeal for race manipulation. RCR withdrawn their appeal. There is more updates on the charter situation, so if you would like to go check that out. We really saw the first time, we never normally see anger out of Justin Allgaier. He's normally a pretty, like, level-headed person. But after he wrecked in practice, you see him slamming, like, his hand down on what looks like a laptop or of some sorts. So turns out, it wasn't a laptop. It was a laptop stand. So like a laptop holder. So he made the conscious decision right before he was about to hit something that he was like, I knew if I hit the toolbox, I probably would have broken my hand. But he was like, I knew the little stand had a little bit of leeway, like give, so I hit that instead. That's what he told me. Christian Eckes was taking a picture with a huge group of supporters before the championship race. And Todd Gilliland photobombed this photo. So he's standing, him and Marissa are standing on the edge of this photo. Justin Allgaier was helping out, like we said earlier, putting all of the vinyl on Brandon Jones's backup car. 4 of the past 6 Craftsman Truck Series championships have been won by a Thor Sport driver. So we spoke about, I think we may have spoken about it. Lennox Bush, Kyle and Samantha's daughter. There was a video surfacing of her calling Chase Elliott her boyfriend and wanting to go see Frozen or something with Chase as like a date. And somebody asked Chase Elliott about it. And he said that, I think he said he heard or saw, did he see the video exactly?
No one told him about it.
Yeah, somebody told him about the video, and he's like, it's funny because I don't think I've ever met her. And she, like, she said this. And so obviously Chase being Chase, like, he's like, it's it's a date. Let's, like, I guess that's what I'm doing in my off season then, like. So very, very adorable. So when Justin won the championship, the flag that was stuck down in his car when he was doing the burnout, I don't, like, Dale Jr. must have fell in love with that flag or something, because he would not let that go for the life of him. He went into the media center, banged it on the top of the door while he was walking through. I was at the shop on Monday while they were doing their big group thing, ringing the bell and just celebrating the championship. And they had the flag, and luckily I got hold of Andrew, who does the Dirty Mo Media, got him to bring the flag over to me. So I ended up getting a picture with the famous flag, and I'm looking forward to getting a replica of that flag because I want it.
No, also, funny enough, when Junior and all of them were doing their, like, Dirty Dale Junior download, he carried the flag into the room and he banged it on the door frame again. He's like, I think I did it again. And I think it was like Dirty Man Media or Junior was first, like, now they're gonna have to, in the off season, fix all the door frames. They're gonna have to make it even higher. Whenever Junior carries around the flag, he doesn't bang it on the.
So, at least for a little while, they're actually going to be sending the flag to Brant because Sierra Brant was at the shop, but obviously she's flying commercial, so wherever she's going, so she can't take a giant pole and a flag like in an overhead bin. So they're gonna have to ship it to her, and they're gonna hold on to the flag for a little while and like go do their rounds with the company and things like that, you know, because Brant is a huge part of it's like Justin's primary sponsor, and they've been with him for a really long time. Um, so that's what they plan on doing, but they did take the flag in for, I want to say, for the podcast this week, um, and had it in there just for this like final closing episode. Um, but yeah, but Dale Jr. would not let go of that flag. Um, but Junior Motorsports ended up getting the Owners' Championship as well, with Justin getting the Drivers' Championship. And it also, Justin said that he's going to be having shoulder surgery over the off season. And we believe that FedEx is leaving from possibly all of NASCAR, but more importantly, being Denny Hamlin's primary sponsor.
They're not leaving completely. They're still going to be on board with him. They're just not going to be a main sponsor. They've already announced that. Yeah, they've already announced that FedEx isn't going to be a big sponsor for Denny Hamlin. They're just going to be a small sponsor, so Denny Hamlin must be getting a bigger sponsor, or he's going to go with the team and have like a 2311 paint scheme. They're just not going to be a big sponsor for Denny Hamlin anymore.
Oh.
They're just going to be a small sponsor. They're not leaving completely.
Apparently, Noah Gragson was doing donuts on the cooldown lap. Was that a joke, or like did he spin or something? Like, I don't know what happened.
Who knows? It's Noah. Noah does what Noah wants to do. I'm gonna be honest. Noah does what Noah wants to do.
He had a Nitro Circus paint scheme, so like he could have been doing anything.
Exactly. It wouldn't surprise me if he was doing donuts on the cooldown lap. I don't know. It's Noah doing Noah things, per usual. We love Noah for the way that he is. It's fine.
But some good news for the Logan Sargent girlies.
Ayo.
He has done a seat fitting and will be getting ready for his test at Thermal with Meyershank Racing here soon. So you can probably see all that content on the social media pages, because I've seen quite a bit of it. But Team Penske becomes the third team in history of the NASCAR Cup Series to finish 1-2 in the driver point standings, joining Joe Gibbs in 2019 and Hendrick Motorsports in 96, 07, and 09. Ryan Blaney has finished 10th or better in the standings in 8 consecutive seasons, the longest active streak in the NASCAR Cup Series. The drivers in the top 5 of the most popular driver vote for Cup: Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Martin Truex. In Xfinity, Justin Allgaier, AJ Allmendinger, Shane Van Gisbergen, Parker Kligerman, and Jesse Love. For Trucks, Rajah Caruth, Christian Eckes, Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, and Ty Majeski.
Pretty much everybody in the Cup ones for the most popular driver except for Blaney. Every other choice is a terrible choice.
So, Anthony Alfredo, while getting held 2 laps during the race, was fined $25,000 and docked 25 points. So even though Chandler Smith has made multiple comments about saying he does not have a ride for next year, there is a rumor that he might go to RCR. Alpine has announced that they will switch to a Mercedes power unit starting in 2026. Well, we have no picks for this week because the Las Vegas race is not until next week. So it's going to be a pretty short episode next week. Let's get out of here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, however you enjoy our lovely podcast. This has been episode 37 of the Trackside Girls podcast, season 2. NASCAR has officially come to an end, so you might hear a little bit of information, just in case anything pops up. If we don't talk about it, Ryan Blaney is getting married in December 12/12. So if we don't talk about it again, congratulations to him and Gianna. But we won't have any more NASCAR race recaps until next season. So that's it. We're gonna have to reset our drivers we pull for, their numbers and all this stuff, because it's been a crazy season and there's a lot of moving around. But let's get out of here. Let's do this intro or outro. Do this outro. Okay. All right, guys. Let's do it. Peace.
Peace.
Love. And race cars.
I did
All right.
double.
Good night, everybody.
Peace out, home dogs.